I just finished publishing that. But um, what we're going to do today, we'll talk about what the beast is and how to use it. And then since it was so effective for me, I started running these shifts out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we shift and we actually, I don't know if I dropped off there, but we actually shift into a lot of different formations now. But this shift for the beast is what you're going to see. And then the plays we run from it, the variations and formations we run, and then we'll finish it up with some film clips. You still with me, Rob?
Yes, coach. I muted my microphone. That's why you. It's. I'm gonna do it
Okay.
again. So
I've got
okay,
headset
I'm gonna
on,
do
so
that again. So
that's
it might
fine. You
sound a
can
little
just
quiet to you.
yeah, that's what happened. But I'll just keep going, and that's fine. All right, all right, all right. So, what exactly is the beast? Came across this formation a while back, and actually, John Ward calls it Yale, and I know that there's a couple other people out there that call it Yale formation, and apparently the Yale College back in the day used to run this, and it's an unbalanced line with two tight ends. That way we run it. We have a smaller tight end on the left side, and then a kind of a pulling guard type kid on the left guard, and then we have our center, another guard, two tackles, and then a bigger tight end. So we get if you look at it from left to right, our line gets bigger as it goes from left to right, which is, makes us look like if you stood them up. That's our goal, anyways, to look like that. And then we use three sniffer backs or three blocking backs, whatever. The sniffer's the new word for it, and people seem to be using it more and more. I mean, you see it on Super Bowl Sunday now. But we drop three sniffer backs down there in the gaps, and then we use it as you can use it as a jumbo package or a goal line, but we used it a lot of times. My main thing was it is I would jump into it and see how they defended it, and if they didn't stop it, if I wanted to eat a lot of clock and wear a team down, I would sit in this jumbo package. And for the most part, I never replace personnel, but I know a lot of people who run this that will bring in, bigger tight ends and bigger, even put linemen in the backfield. The shifts and variations that I run on it. Um, I think I know there's some youth coaches out there and maybe even a few high school coaches that run this as a package, as a complete package, and it's their base offense. But I'm a little more. If I'm going to run single wing, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to also run some spin and buck lateral and some other things like that. So it could be a complete package for you. But if you're looking to add a wrinkle for a power offense, I think it's pretty good. Um, I being unbalanced single wing, the reasons I run the beast is because I wanted the further overload. I mean, when you think about an unbalanced single wing, you've got four linemen to the right, you've got the spin back behind the center, half back to his left, and then you've got a blocking back and a wing back. So you're obviously overloaded to the right. But if I can take the half back and the wing back and put them in there too, I can further overload. And a lot of teams, what will happen when you do this is that they'll move everybody over, and it allows me an opportunity to either, if I can, to run right at the point of attack, but also be able to run counters and play action pass and even option off of it. And I thought it was one of the easiest offenses I've ever installed. I mean, if you just put it in and just run the blast and wedge type plays, it's basically just massive bodies, everybody almost like a rugby scrum. That's why, I mean, back a few slides, you saw the old flying V alignment there that they ran back in the old days. It's just like that. I mean, just push, and then your running back, he comes up and he will bury himself up in there or just try to find a hole to go through. And I mean, if you're happy with 4 yards, 5 yards, eventually one of those is going to break. Something's going to break on there like that. So we ran it in game 10 last year, not this last season, but the season before. In by the end of the game, it was probably 6 inches of mud about the consistency of cake frosting. Started out in the game, you could see grass, but by the end, you couldn't even tell what numbers were on what people, and so we ended up using the shift and running it in the mud and going back and forth out of it, and it's such a weird formation that if we line it up completely balanced and then we shift into it right or left, that by the time the defense gets set, we're already snapping the ball. So we were kind of like hitting people in the face with it, and so it was just a package for us. So I'm going to try to talk about it like that. I know some people want a lot more detail on how it works, how it would work for a whole offense. So I'll go over every play we've ran off of it, and and of course I always tell people, especially when you're talking about something that's different like single wing. I mean, listen and take what I glean from what I'm telling you, and then try to really try to uh, put that into your own offense. I mean, I have had people take my stuff and just install it, and that's fine. But I think everybody's kind of got their own flavor. And when I built it, I gathered little bits from all the masters, and even modified some stuff from the plays I was already running.